few weeks ago, I discovered this guy, Ali Abdaal. If you don't know him, Ali is a doctor, a YouTuber, a successful entrepreneur, and he runs a weekly podcast with his brother. And along that, he still has time for creative hobbies like playing the piano and learning how to draw, as well as other big projects like dating and getting in shape. My mind was truly blown away by his videos, especially the ones about his creative workflow and the one where he shows how he learned to play the piano. It seems that by adopting just a few key principles, Ali is capable of not only doing a lot of things, but also doing them well. So it made me wonder, if Ali were to learn French, how would he do it? He would set a direction goal and commit to it. Speak French. Now that's where he wants to go. Now he needs a roadmap. And at the core of Ali's extraordinary ability to do many great things, there are laws which guide his path, the laws of productivity. In a sense, these laws all go back to the same idea. Motivation is a myth that cannot be relied on. Instead, discipline, fun, and friction are much more powerful allies. That's the theory. But let's see how it translates into action. He would isolate the input that truly matters. Being productive for the sake of being productive is actually the pinnacle of unproductivity. And Ali knows this, so he would actively try to isolate the elements that are truly important and discard what will just confuse or overwhelm him. He would aim to be able to use the concepts that he learned rather than remembering all the little details. Now, in French, that could translate by memorizing simple sentences he can use rather than memorizing long lists of words, or understanding the basic concepts of sentence structure rather than trying to have a perfectly conjugated verb every time. He would use short feedback loops. Start from somewhere, find weaknesses and fix them. Problem solving each species and progressing as he finds weaknesses. In my opinion, that's the best way to progress fast. He would hop from one problem to the next until he doesn't have many problems anymore. Concretely, this would look like concentrating on one piece of French grammar, understanding it and using it until he's able to use it when he speaks, and then moving on to another piece of French grammar, or another set of sentences, or another theme of vocabulary, etc., etc. He would reach in his stretch zone, as he called it. Just difficult enough to be interesting, but not so difficult that it feels frustrating. This is how practicing French should feel like, and it's the feeling that Ali would strive for when he practices his French. Anything below that is too easy and won't help you progress much. Anything above risks being too overwhelming and hurt the most important part of the equation, which is the fun factor. Because when you have fun, you don't need to force yourself to do things. You do them because they are fun. So Ali would engage in fun activities that he genuinely wants to do and genuinely have fun doing. It could be anything really, from watching Friends in French or start blogging in French. Anything that will make him want to study or speak in French. He would make sure he doesn't drop by making the consequences of not learning French painful. One easy way to do this would be to sign up to pass an exam in a few months. Then he would need to study to pass the exam. And not studying and not practicing would mean that he doesn't get the diploma at the end. Or he could hire a coach to keep himself accountable, like he did with drawing. Or spend money on tools, anything that will annoy or pain him in some way if he doesn't study or speak French. He would optimize his brain power. Finally, Ali would optimize his brain power by using studied techniques like active recall and spaced repetition. Those techniques will allow him to spend less time memorizing and more time doing something else. Active recall is a technique that calls for quizzing yourself regularly to see what you actually retained from the information. And spaced repetition is a study method that combats our natural tendency to forget. The idea is to forget just enough and review the information at specific intervals to send the information into your long-term memory. I actually speak more about this in this video. So these are the 7 steps I think Ali Abdaal would take if he was to learn French. Now, Don't let this video be another one you watch today. Tell me which one of those 7 ideas you are going to start applying now, and when you're ready, you can start with this video on how to read French sentences.